Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles is set to have his security detail increased, with a review to be carried out by the Australian Federal Police. He's been facing scrutiny over the cost of chartered defence planes. The opposition has been wanting more detail on the flights to be released to justify the cost of $3.6 million. He has said he stands by every flight as part of his parliamentary business. He's also said he can't release more detail because of security advice that it would lead to people being able to observe a pattern of travel. This story on Richard Marles was broken by news.com.au political editor Samantha Maiden. Now, Miss Maiden approached the Defence Minister on Tuesday morning while he was going for a run around Parliament House. She saw him while driving, pulled over, got out of her car and said hello. He responded he was going for a run. So that was the end of that, if you like, approach. He was running with another Labor MP, but without any security detail. Now, the incident was not seen as a threat to the Deputy Prime Minister. It's hardly unusual for a journalist to approach an MP, but a security assessment will look at all aspects of his current arrangements. In the wake of reporting on his professional and personal routines, Mr Marles has security for some events, but does not have permanent security. Coalition ministers such as Peter Dutton and Josh Frydenberg had a near constant security detail by the end of their time in office. Now, Samantha Maiden has told Sky News, for several weeks I've been lodging questions with Mr Marles' office over important transparency issues regarding his $3.6 million in VIP flights, often without any reply at all from his taxpayer-funded staff. Throughout the morning, I lodged several questions with his office and again received no reply. Mr Marles doesn't need an AFP detail to protect himself from scrutiny. He just needs to get his office to answer questions from journalists and to release the details of his $3.6 million in flights, a practice that has worked just fine for 50 years. Meanwhile, the opposition has been accused of overstepping the mark in pursuing this matter after Liberal Senator Sarah Henderson called the Deputy Prime Minister a handicap in Parliament yesterday. Here she was riffing off the back of her colleague James McGrath, talking about the handicap, golf handicap that is, of Richard Marles.
It has not been denied, Deputy President, that there are multiple sets of golf clubs being distributed all around the place to make it easier for the Deputy Prime Minister to lower his handicap. And this is what it comes down to, Deputy President, is that we ask questions on behalf of the taxpayers because we want to know, on behalf of taxpayers, where this money is being spent. And Senator Henderson, I think that would be unparliamentary to say the Deputy Prime Minister is a handicap, so I could not at all agree to that particular suggestion.